some chatter that the Milwaukee Bucks superstar, the man that held up the championship trophy a couple years ago, Giannis Antetokounmpo, has a wandering eye, and he has been looking north of the border. Oh, Canada, eyeing Toronto. The Raptors, there is said to be, in breathless reporting, mutual interest between the Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Toronto. So Giannis, who's won not one, but 2 most valuable player awards. So I'm told that's pretty good. I'm playing the NBA and the championship and all that stuff. And it has been widely speculated that he is considering a relocation situation. The Bucks have had not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive first-round departures from the postseason. They have been decommissioned in the first round 3 years in a row. And you compound that with not having a coach. They're the headless deer, Doc Rivers. I'd rather have an actual doctor as my coach than a fake doctor, Doc Rivers. When you hire Doc, you're not trying to win. You're not. When you hire Doc Rivers, you're just trying to give good sound bites to the media and have nice things said about you because it's Doc Rivers. Everyone loves Doc. He's debonair. He's got the smile. Everyone loves him. Can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag, but that's aside. Then you've got the Dame train, which has gone off the tracks, and the Dame enjoying a steady diet of Rice Krispies, Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and the Achilles there. So those are all the ingredients that have gotten to this point. Now, you know that Toronto, they're out there kicking the tires. They need that headline. They don't have anybody. Not that we talk much Raptors basketball here. But they don't. So Milwaukee's championship window seems to close, and it seems to be done, dead-bolted, see you later. It's not even a window anymore. It's like a wall at this point. So let us discuss the question. You make the call. You make the call question. If you're the Raptors, do you go all in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and do you actually have a chance to get the player? So my thoughts on this, I've got Da Vinci, Saber-Tooth Tiger, and Slow Churned. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some ice baby is what we're going to make. So, A, to answer the question, if you're the Raptors, you go all in. Yes, I'm nodding my head. Yes, of course. Now, do you have a chance to actually get the player? Well, that's where things get a little foggy. So, but from the Toronto side, it's a no-brainer, right? It's an absolute no-brainer. While it is generally considered taboo for any star players to sign with the Toronto Raptors. You can be traded there, but to actually sign. Now, and this would be a trade. But it's the kind of trade where the player wants to go there. So it's a fake trade. Like a real trade is the player doesn't want to go there, you trade him anyway. This would be a faux trade. Toronto, for big names in the NBA, is seen as a barren wasteland. You just don't go there. And you can get players in the draft. You can have a bunch of no-name, no-brand type players. And Giannis, though, the reason that there's something there, the reason I'm buying that there's something there, is Giannis is a different breed of kitty cat. Here. And doesn't seem like he needs the suntan lotion, the bikini bottoms that you get in L.A. or Miami or anything like that. But much like Da Vinci or Michelangelo, a Renaissance man, to a point. I do believe the last couple of years since winning the championship that Giannis has morphed more into line with all the other a-holes in the NBA. He's still got that international flavor. He's got that going for him. And he could be convinced that, hey, I can go and enjoy maple syrup, powered snow blowers and all that stuff. And maybe he always wanted to play near the CN Tower and that he really wanted that. And, and there's a great Greek town, one of our listeners that met at the meet and greet said, wow, there's a big Greek population there, and they got a great Greek town. All right. Giannis is, I believe, under contract, if I'm not mistaken, for another couple of seasons, so it would have to be a trade. And the Bucks, I am told, will demand a king's ransom. You also have the meddling NBA power brokers who are going to try to encourage Giannis to go to a big market. The usual suspects, L.A., Miami, New York. And those are the usual. Maybe Golden State. Maybe a Golden State gets mixed in there. And he's a known commodity, though. If you're the Raptors and you're trying to get that big guy, that's a guy you can actually get. And you're going to have to give up a bunch of promissory notes. And you get a proven star who's in the near end of his prime. A couple more years of Giannis, and then it's a slow decline. All right, now, turning the page. The round mound of rebound, he was known as that when he played. Charles Barkley making some news. He has announced that he has it all mapped out. His great escape from television, appearing right here on Fox Sports Radio with Dan Patrick, who also's got it all mapped out. Dan's got a plan to retire. So Charles Barkley revealed that he only intends to work 2 more years. That's it. He's got a $200 million contract, but here's Barkley explaining what his plan is, as he's still with Warner Brothers. It's kind of weird, but it's going to be on ESPN, but he's not going to really be an ESPN employee. Anyway, listen, here's what Barkley had to say.
I actually have 7 years left on my contract. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm working 7 years. I said, I'm going to be a good soldier for Kenny, Ernie, and Shaq, and the people I work with, because I love the people I work with, especially behind the scenes. I said, but the best I can do is 2 years.
All right, so he said 2 years. He says also concerned. He says if ESPN overworks him, even though he's going to be working for Turner, he said he'll just go home. So let us discuss how much stock do you give Charles Barkley, the greatest ex-jock turned player. The jockocracy usually produces crap with former players on television, but Charles Barkley is not that. He is at the very top of the food chain when it comes to broadcasting. So, how much stock do you give Charles Barkley, as he has announced he is planning to retire from TV in 2 years? So, after a thorough deliberation of the available information, we have given this a solid 0. A solid 0. So, Charles Barkley, and one thing I've come to know over the last 10-plus years of talking about Charles Barkley, and it's been longer than that, but just the last decade plus, Charles Barkley loves a saber-toothed tiger. But really what he loves is saber rattling. He loves saber rattling when talking about his future. I guess everyone all worked up into a nice tizzy and likes Barkley's the guy that will spit in your pocket and announce that it's raining as he's spitting a nice thick loogie in your pocket. He'll announce it's raining. Now, we went back to the copious amounts of notes that we do on a daily basis for these Maller monologues, and we went all the way back in the hot tub time machine to 2012, and we then searched keywords, and we determined that Charles Barkley has publicly discussed or announced he's done with television 6 times since 2012. 6 times, I'm out. And every time, Barkley's continue to work. Every time. We in our notes, we had 2012, 2015, 2018, 2021, 2022, and 2024. And now we can add 2025. Although he didn't announce he's going to quit right away. He says it's going to be a couple years and all that. And every time he's announced this, every single time he has continued to work. He's signed new contracts, and he has reversed those retirement plans. But wait! There's more. Barkley also loved in the past claiming he was going to become the governor of Alabama. This was a big thing that Barkley brought up many times. There were 4 times, that goes back to the 90s, where Barkley announced that he was going to be the governor of his home state, his native state of Alabama. He did that in the 90s, the 06 as well, 08, and actually twice in 08 he announced he was going to become the governor of Alabama. And either time, or all the times, I should say, all the times he failed, Barkley failed to actually run for governor of Alabama. Never did it. He always abandoned that plan, and his political ambitions were bullshoy. Were absolutely bullshoy. Now, there is an age situation, which is a factor, but only a little bit. Barkley is now 62. So he's at the point. He's got a lot of money, and he's got a lot of money because of television. He's got money because of TV, not because of basketball, because of basketball and TV. But Charles Barkley is a TV commentator. He's not a former player. He's a TV guy, and it really isn't work. Like, I've been lucky enough the last couple years I had a TV show, and like, this is work. Like, the radio show is work. I do everything for the show, put it all together. Like, the TV show, there's people that help you. There's, like, support staff, producers, and directors, and people that make you look good. And it helps out a lot. And it's wonderful to be in that environment. So if you're doing TV like Barkley, I mean, you got a million people helping you. You just show up, and you don't have to worry about putting monologues together and doing all this other. You don't have to worry about it. Right, because people actually help you out. It's an amazing thing, and Barkley's getting $12.5 million per year, and he has earned a massive amount more as a TV guy than a player. In fact, I went back and looked. Barkley, when he played for the Sixers and the Suns and bounced around the NBA a little bit, mostly the Suns and the Sixers, but Charles Barkley played with the Rockets also. But his total earnings, like $40 million, which is a lot of money. That's old money, $40 million as a player. He has made, it's estimated, close to $200 million as a broadcaster. So $40 million as a player, I think it's like $175 million, something like in that ballpark, which is a good ballpark. And that does not even include like the endorsement stuff that he's got. So he's cashing it in. Now, last word, speaking of the jockocracy of basketball, flipping the page here, Warrior star Stephen Curry making some news recently. He's not retiring from the NBA. Well, not yet. However, he told CNBC, he said, listen, I've got it all mapped out. I got this whole plan, right? This whole plan mapped out, right? And so what is that? What is the plan? Well, so he mentioned to CNBC that TV broadcasting, he's thinking about doing that. He's got team ownership and possibly playing on the PGA Tour Championship, Champions Tour for the PGA Tour. They got all that mapped out. All right, so to me, the most interesting thing, athlete owns a team. We've seen that with Jordan. We've seen, stars run teams like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and whatnot. So that doesn't really interest me. The TV thing, because we just talked about Barkley, that interests me. So would Steph Curry be a good TV broadcaster? All right. So let's go to the Wheel of Fortune here. Can I get an N and I'd like an N and can I buy a vowel? I would like an O. That would be no. He is going to be terrible as a broadcaster. My God. So let's break this down unscientifically. Now, Steph Curry is seen as a charming individual. He is seen as smart. He is seen as well-spoken. And those are all positive attributes. They're all positive. Blah, 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 blah. All that. That does not mean that he is cut out to sit in a broadcast booth or in a studio and commentate on pro basketball, because Steph Curry is like slow-churned vanilla bean ice cream when it comes to the things he says. He just is. You need an edge. You need an edge to be good. You need to tell it like it is. You need to goof around, have self-deprecating humor like Charles Barkley. And when a player goes out there and is a brick house and just blows, and everyone knows the player sucks, can't hit a jumper, save his life, plays El Matador defense, and you get on there and make excuses for that player or downplay it, you've lost all credibility. You're a fraud is what you are. And Steph Curry, as a broadcaster, barring some kind of shocking renaissance, milk toast. That's what he would, milk toast. And Mr., golly, I love golf. I love my family and all that stuff. It's very nice. It's nice to love golf. It means you've got money. I don't know anyone poor that likes golf. I've never met anyone poor in my life that likes golf and is able to play golf. Rich people like golf, and super rich people love golf. They play it all the time. Right? He's much too polished, Steph Curry, to be any good as a broadcaster. Now, That doesn't mean he's not going to get a chance because of the jockocracy, which has been around since the 80s. There's this old sportscaster you've never heard of named Howard Cosell who knew right away what was going on. But, everything Curry says now, and I don't think it's going to change much, every take that Curry has is dipped in sugar and then rolled in sprinkles. So you got the sugar, you got the sprinkles and all that. And I get it. He's been the golden child for many in the NBA for over a decade. And the media has been licking his toes for a long time here. And, give me someone who's not afraid to ruffle some feathers and is not trying to stay in the upper crust of the oligarchy of the NBA. And because Curry's just going to be like a sleep aid is what he's going to be. Anyway.